probably we can be very proud of playing against Finn Russell in 2 games and not giving a try away. I think that's really hard to do, but certainly not a performance we very proud of what we put out there today.
Rassie, were you quite impressed with how they stood up to that 45th minute substitution when the pack comes on?
I don't think they did in the scrums, and I don't think they did in the maul. I think they stole a line-out ball, but I think a technical penalty at the scrum. But they certainly in general play. They've got a very different tackle technique where they hold you up, and they're very effective. And their defence coach and it certainly must get well done, tap on the back for that, because it's very tough to catch a player like that and hold it up. And the guys who came on eventually broke some and get some momentum going there, but they definitely a very proud team, and we really had to work hard to beat them by 17 points, which we all know, like the World Cup, it could have been a very tight game.
Rassie, you said that it's not a performance that you were proud of. What didn't work? What weren't you proud of?
No, it's not that. No, not effort. It's we are trying to. If we get 3 injuries in a position that Kenan Moody just slots in at 13, if Damien gets injured, that Andre can just start there. But Andre didn't play not bad, not well. How can I say? He didn't play badly. But the immediate in syncness with him and Andre, and we just want the team to gel together, because we've been together for a while now. And as we bring the youngsters in, next week will probably be Damien and Jesse again, but we want to know if one of those guys go down, like if Eben goes down, Jean Klein or Ruan or Ergia, those guys must slot in seamlessly, and that's not an effort thing. It's just more of repeating, aligning, because the effort I'm proud of. And I think we're all proud of the effort. 17 points versus them away from home. It's not too shabby. So, yeah, it's just that in syncness.
The breakdown seems to be a place where they maybe got on top of, like, what was going on there? Was there anything that you saw that you weren't thrilled about? Is it the way that you guys kind of structure your pods now? Can you maybe get a bit technical with me? What was going on?
No, we're trying really hard, and Eben can back me up there. We trained so hard the last couple of weeks to get out of the breakdown, because we tend to give not roll away penalties. We give a lot of that away. It was almost, I think, 18 in the rugby championship. And we trained really hard to get out of the channel very quickly, so that the 9, you have access to the ball and the cleaners have access to the ball. And I think it's sometimes just where the referee's focus is on. Not that the referee in any way did anything on purpose, but we thought that channel where the 9 must clear must be open for the 9 to get to the ball. And we did find that we had to jump sometimes over him or get around him, and that, I'm not saying they were illegal. We didn't handle it well enough. But on the other side, we tried to get squeaky clean, because that was a bad part of our game. I think that broke our rhythm a bit.
Even the coach said areas were concerned of the Christmas performance. Was it frustrating at times out there for you? And what about the performance, was frustrating?
Yeah, I think I said in the press conference before the game yesterday that we know they're a quality side. We always, when we prepare for Scotland, we prepare like are we going to play New Zealand or Ireland, or because they're one of the top teams in the world. So, and also to latch on to Rassie, to beat Tim and Murrayfield with 17 points. Yeah, maybe the scoreboard does flatter us a little bit, but still got a good performance in. And we always know it's not going to go away. Everything's going to go away. It's going to be a bit of a grind. They're a quality side, and they definitely stood up to us in the general play with their physicality and brought the game to us as well. So it was a good battle. It was a good test match. Compliments to them. I think they were great today. I think we probably weren't at our best, but we showed quality in the end to make the scoreboard like that.
Eben, you're just beating one of the best teams in the world, 4 tries to 0 and 17 points away from home, and we're kind of asking questions if you guys have lost the game in a way. Is that a sign of how impressive you are, like the aspirations you have inside, the standards that you set now?
Yeah, we obviously set high standards for ourselves. I think we drive it within the team, the players and the management. We want to keep on performing, and we know every now and then there's going to be a performance that we're not probably that proud of. And like you said, it was at the end of the day it was a good performance because we beat them by that margin. But there's just some aspects of the game that we probably won't be happy with, and that we'll work on. And I'm sure the coaches will point that out to us, and there will be some harsh words, but there are also some good words. And I think that you need that in a professional team environment. We always strive to be better, and yeah, that's why I say there will be some harsh words as well.
Eben, do you think that perhaps, and I know you guys don't use excuses in general, but losing Ruan, the guy was going to lead your lineouts in the week. And I know Sos is obviously world class, but there is that kind of disruption, I guess. Do you think that maybe played a bit of a role in not really getting the lineouts on your terms?
No, I don't think so. I think Scotland, I think when we played Glasgow, Sharks played Glasgow, they were probably one of the best contesting sides at club level I've played against, and they're a good man-watching side. They very well do well in the lineouts, and we knew it's going to be a tough time in the lineouts. I mean, Sos is world class. He's got probably 70 odd test matches for South Africa, so he's a quality player to come in, and so is Argia, who came on for Sos. So I don't think that was a big disruption.
Rassie, what are your thoughts ahead of the England game next weekend?
Yeah, firstly, Murrayfield, just to add, to maybe answer his question with a little bit more other detail. For a guy like Elrich, who's never played at Murrayfield, it's also it's new. That's why I want to get to Twickenham. It's new, it's pressure, it's a really nice type of crowd to play in front with. It's the whole vibe you get here, the atmosphere in here. It's a special place to play, Murrayfield. Twickenham also. And sometimes when you try something like this, make 11 changes after the team that beat Argentina, some guys, you get a little bit, same with Kane and Moody, he's played at the highest level against Australia and so on. I don't know if he's actually played here before, I'm not 100% sure, but Twickenham will be a different challenge. That's 80,000 people, that's a different kind of pressure. It's a very desperate team. We've lost 2 matches now against Australia, probably ranking-wise is not up there, but we know where they're going with Joe Smith. But they'll be very desperate to win. I think Scotland were 5 on the bounce now, which they won. Weren't they 5 unbeaten matches, Scotland, before they played us? It would have been their 6th win if they beat us. And I think England is now that desperate team who almost beat New Zealand, who almost beat Australia. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very tough game. We'll be selecting internally tomorrow and announcing probably the day after for you guys. But no, there's a tough one. We rested the 2 packs for reasons, because we also want the team to be fresh, the pack of forwards with the 6-day turnaround. And obviously guys like Jesse and Damien, those guys Cheslin will come into the reckoning for that game.
Just a word, Rassie, on the Pips, the performances of the team aside, another 2 tries. I mean, that strike rate just improves now. I mean, 34 years old and showing no signs of slowing down.
Yeah, no, he's a special guy, when it's sometimes so tough. You got a guy like Edward, hasn't really played a lot. He had an injury, was in camp with us. Guy like Kieran Horn, fullback, we're so close to getting Willie to his 100th match. We know what form Fassie is in. He didn't play today. But as a team, we're but like a family as well, Mapimpi is one of us, and there's certain guys knocking really hard on the door, and we know Cheslin and Kirtley are class, and we know there's a few other wingers that we could have brought on tour, but a 3-week tour was maybe a bit different than an incoming tour. We can have them 5 weeks in camp. They learn really our culture. So as long as we can look after Mapimps and he scores tries and get Willie to his 100th test match, there's sometimes some emotional connection with players, with the whole management team, coaching staff, and when we have the opportunity, we try and make it special for them. And it will be a sad day when Mapimpi is done one day, because he always produces.
Rassie, what did you make of the red card incident? What was your take on that?
I don't want to comment on those cards, because sometimes it's so tough. It's an accident, sometimes it's luckily it was not a red card where he was totally off the field, you know, but we got a yellow card when they didn't score a try, but when they were actually a red card, we didn't score a point. They actually scored more points in that time. That was really frustrating. When they were 14 men and we were 15 and we couldn't score, that frustrated a bit. But sometimes I think it's just bad luck, you know. I don't think any player goes out there and do stuff on purpose.
Last question.
If you're in Gregor's shoes, Rassie, would that have been frustrating, you know, the red card?
You know what I will say now will be a headline that I wouldn't like to be connected to. So any red card's frustrating. If a player did it by accident or did it on purpose, which seldom happen, and you know sometimes it's just an accident. Yeah, I would feel frustrated.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, we'll be on the other side.